voter registration rolls and domestic issues. Welcome back to another episode of Spin Cycle America, where we talk about what's going on in the world around us. I try to lay out the facts. I'm your host, Todd, and we are still hitting the issue of on voter fraud. Is it real? You be the judge. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to day 5 of our 6-day series on election integrity under scrutiny. We covered fraud basics, foreign interference, mail ballots, and voter machines. Today, we're going to look at voter registration rolls, the foundation everything else is based on or built on. So if rolls are messy with dead people, movers, and fakes, it creates opportunities for people. We'll examine real cases, how common they are, and practical fixes. So sit back and relax, grab a cup of coffee, and here we go. So here's some common problems with rolls. Voter registration lists get outdated fast. People move, people die, or change names without regular cleaning. You end up with deceased voters still listed, duplicate or inactive registrations, fake application with phony addresses, and non-citizens accidentally or intentionally on the rolls. And not that you also have like a party or like the Democratic Party turning socialists on us and wanting non-citizens to vote. They want to change the Constitution. Huh. Well, there's something dynamic. It doesn't automatically mean mass fraud, but it does open those doors. So here's some documented cases. Real examples for convictions. Fake registration drives where canvassers submit fictions or fictitious names, such as in 2024 Georgia case with dozens of phony applications. Yeah, it happens. Now, people registering with voting issues deceased relatives. I thought that was phony at one time. I didn't realize that was actually happening, but people are voting with deceased names, deceased relatives, non citizens voting prosecutions. Illegal everywhere, but isolated cases are popping up. And now you have the Democratic Party split into two, where you have the Socialist Party wanting to have non citizens vote. Double voting across state lines. The Heritage database tracks hundreds of these over decades, including recent ones. Most are small scale or local, but they do show vulnerabilities. Even though some may be small or local, doesn't mean they are not working on how to make it a large scale. So it's there and it can grow and it get bigger. So how big is this problem? Well, scale matters. Studies show the vast majority of registrations are legitimate. Large claims millions of invalid voters vote or often don't hold up to under scrutiny, okay? But that means there's a lot that are trying to do it. They just get kicked back. Many are data mismatched or old records. Audits and cross checks, uh, DMV, Social Security, Death Index, interstate compacts catch a lot of the mistakes or a lot of this. Tools like the ERIC or the ERIC help states clean lists up through participation. Let's see here. Some some may slip through the cracks, but probably not enough to make a difference on an election. As I have mentioned or have said before, candidates have the right to challenge the outcome of these votes or of these elections, but most of the time it is too small or to no avail. The counting is usually correct, so if you are a Democrat or a Republican, you can rest assured that you are not being cheated. I know I'm going to get some hate mail on this one or hate texts on this one. However, the other side always complains they are right, okay, or they are being cheated. Domestic insider and procedural issues. Now, don't get me wrong here. There are issues. Other risks include poll workers, errors, or training gaps. So some of the poll workers aren't being trained properly. Insider misconduct. Rare but serious when it does happen. Weak ID checks in some places. This is a big problem. Uh, we have, like I said, the Democratic Party does not want ID checks. They don't want to use ID cards. They don't want you to use ID. These are fixable with better training, bipartisan oversight, and clear rules. But the problem is one side or the other doesn't always want to fix the problem if it means to benefit their side. For example, ID checks. This is a big problem and will continue to be one until the left agrees. Right now, they are firm in believing that part of the population is too stupid to get the right identification to vote with. Really? And yet, that same group of people continue to stay with the left. Come on, let's think about it. Solutions that work. So, I've mentioned this before on several podcasts and YouTube videos in the past. If you have a problem, or if there is a problem, there's always a solution to that problem. Find it, work on it, and then implement it. Be part of the solution and not the problem. So proven steps, regular transparent list maintenance with notice to voters. Voter ID requirements for registering to vote. There's a novel idea, huh? Automatic voter registration tied to reliable records with opt-out verification. Interstate data sharing. Harsh penalties for false registration. States doing this well have clearer roles and higher trust. And if we don't trust you, then what is left? So basically, if we don't trust our government, what's left? Because right now, many people don't trust the government. I don't, and I'm sure most of you out there listening to this don't trust. Whether you are a Democrat or Republican, your trust in our government is or has diminished. It's lower. It is time to get that trust back. But in order to find out that or to get that trust back, the government needs to start working with people and stop fighting on Capitol Hill. Every time someone blows their nose, there's an argument about it. Every time you hear about it. The news, breaking news. So, in closing, trust is a valuable tool, especially in our government. There is no trust in it right now. The left and the right spend more time arguing and fighting like two parents going through a divorce. Now you have the left fractured as it is getting split into two parties. And turning into one part of it's turning into a socialist party. Now where will our trust go? Who will we trust then? This is when our government will really get start to tax you and take money from the working class and give it to those who are not working. My next series this week, starting today actually, I'm going to send out or start a special on it's going to cover socialism and the historical failures of socialism. You're not going to want to miss it. It will come out here today. Tomorrow is our final series or a final chapter on this series on voter fraud. Real reform, day 6 will be on real reform that works and what you as a citizen can do. So tell me today or on it. So, what are your concerns about voter fraud, voter rolls? Comment below with sources. Subscribe and hit the bell with the last video. Sources linked in the description below. Thank you for sticking out with this series. See you tomorrow on the next episode of Spit and Cycle. You all have